Quincy Jones over the years has developed just so many things about the industry he has become hip to and uses it to its benefit, its maximum. I've heard some things that he's done on other recordings that just blow your mind. And if you've ever heard of a Quincy Jones record or something that was produced by Quincy Jones, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's always unusual, always very clean, very professionally done. And there's always something in it that's really memorable about the recording. And so he's a person that you can bet knows exactly what he's doing and knows exactly what he wants to do.
And yet you seem to be very free and relaxed in what you were doing here.
I am, because when talking to Quincy, he told me, well, after feeling me out and getting to understand a little bit about my concept and knowing how loose I am about things, you know, I never get to the point where I can't be flexible about something, because rigid is like a tree, I think, you know. If you can't bend, if you can't bend when the wind blows, you break. Uh-huh. And so I think he knows that about me, and so he has arranged things, and he told me, he said, George, don't worry about a thing.
That sound okay?
It's going to be great.
Yeah, Bill May go up there. Maybe it's
going to be fine. It's going to be better than great.
We're talking about George Benson being, to me, the greatest guitarist I have ever worked with, and the greatest
now that's
singer.
saying something.
It is saying something. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. He is a consummate musician. When we say, let's take the key down a half step, he's bang, it's right, the half step down. Let's take it up a fourth, it's there. And that, in the last 5 years, is an incredible revelation for me. I love that concept of we can move around a little bit, you know, and that means that the man has flexibility, he has chops, he's got the musicianship and everything.
By chops, you mean that he has the skills?
Yes, he has the skills.
The dexterity to play.
Right, which he earned as a musician that went through the streets, wherever you want to go, to get his ability to, you know, in a nutshell, what I'm talking about is that here's a man that didn't ask the question, how do I get over? How do I get better? And better. Is what he said. And better, and better, and better. Mm-hmm. And that's the school I came from.
How in the world did you, at 14, happen to be playing horn for Billie Holiday?
Well, there was a guy named Joseph Poe in Seattle that used to be with Wings Over Jordan. He was the choir director for Wings Over Jordan, and he had a dance band in a Navy band over there. And I was inspired by his band, so much so that he used to hire me as his babysitter, and I used to take the job as his babysitter so I could sit down and read his orchestration books and see how 4 trombones played together, how 4 trumpets played together, and how 4 trumpets and 4 trombones played together, and what made a big band work. How could 18 musicians play together simultaneously? And that band, plus a guy named Bumps Blackwell.
Bumps?
You know Bumps Blackwell? Right.
Marvelous
Bumps
man.
Blackwell Junior Band. And when I joined Bumps Blackwell's Junior Band, We had a little 8-piece band, we had a little 16-piece band, and when Cab Calloway came to town, we played the job with Cab Calloway. And Bobby Tucker came in town with Billie Holiday when I was 14 years old.
Came in what town?
In
This is in Seattle?
Seattle, Washington. And he came in town, and I had just learned how to read, if you want to call it that. And we played with Billie Holiday.
Now, you've scored films, you've scored The Wiz, and The Heat of the Night, I'm just a 33 films. And yet you still seem fresh about it. I mean, each project seems to find a fresh, vital Quincy Jones. How do you do that? How do you decide, for example, on what the theme's going to be for this album?
It's very easy. You say that every day is a brand new day, and it's what you call present time. You say it is right now. It's got nothing to do with what happened yesterday. It's what's happening right now.
All right, now in this session, you've gotten together not just George Benson, but really what would you call it? A team, a company, a family.
It is a
of
family,
creators.
Yeah. Right.
Tell us about that and how you go about doing that.
Well, when you're talking about a record, I like to relate it to the same. The analogy is it's just like a film, and if you're gonna,
it's like making a film.
Exactly like making a film, and if you're gonna put the analogy. A film, it starts with a script and a cast.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of a record, the cast is the artist, and the script is the song, the material. It's identical. There's no difference. The difference in the record business is you can start out with the cast first, and then find the script later.
You would say that, all right, I'm going to record George Benson, so I want a certain quality of sound with George. I want a certain musical family around him. I know the caliber of background singers, the style of background singer I need for this. I know the kind of percussionist I need for this. Is this what you're doing? Who are some of the other people who are involved in it? How were they selected?
The other people who are involved are the girl that was on the session tonight, Patty Austin, who Dinah Washington introduced me to her when she was 3 years old. She's been, I think, one of the geniuses of the record business, for the last 28 years. Out of 85% of all the commercials on television, she's involved in about 85 or 90% of all the commercials.
What makes her so good?
God gave her a gift, and she developed it.
What was the gift?
The gift was automatic retention of any sound she was confronted with. We would do 11 takes with Dinah, and Clifford Brown and comparable type musicians would play ad-lib solos with her on every take. Patty could sing back every take Dinah Washington did, and note for note what Dinah did, even her goofs. And she could also sing back all the solos that Clifford Brown played. She could sing everything back at 3 years old.
Wow, what a gift.
It's incredible.
Just stack it.
That's why, you know, I would like to load this one up with as many different registers, because I don't think it's going to be the final key of the song anyway. You know, so if we can get a low register, medium register, and a high register, we'll be straight. You know, we can just cover, you know, about an octave and a half or so of stacks on it. I think it'd be nice. Got to take a chance one time. Or 2 or 3 times.
Well, yeah, we've been thinking.
Yeah. I think one of the most fortunate things about the aspect of producing is to have a man like Bruce Swedien by your side. Bruce has a background from everything. We worked with Billy Eckstine, Sarah Vaughan, Dinah Washington, Count Basie, 23 years ago. He also worked with the Chicago Symphony for 11 years. He worked with Natalie Cole, Muddy Waters, all the chess recordings.
So it's the widest possible
it's the
range.
widest possible spectrum, of a scientific aspect, and from a musical aspect. And we've just found a way to combine the two sets of experiences and combine it and use it so that we don't have to waste too many words.
What do you mean by stacking? What are you going to stack it?
Stacking means if you do one voice,
yes,
like you say, what do you mean by stacking? You say, what do you mean by stacking? We record that, and you do it again, and you exactly reproduce the same phrase, what do you mean by stacking? And we put it right on top of that and get that voice so it's doubled. And we've worked together long enough so that Bruce knows that when I say stack it, we know whether we do it once, twice, or 3 times, or whatever. It's incredible. It's always that moment, man. When the tension's set up, you get one part, 2 parts, and then a third part, and then the fourth one just like pulls it together.
Yeah.
Never change those friends.
Unbelievable. Oh, is that pretty?
How about the percussionist, Paulinho?
Paulinho is, he is the essence of Brazil. And I've always had an affinity for what that's about, because I still think that's an extension of if we dare to go back, and try to relate what the connection is and what black music, the essence of black music is about, we have to go back to ragtime, swing, jazz, country, jazz bands, etc., slave spirituals, etc. Still some of the most accessible African roots are still available in Brazil. And Paulinho comes from that school. I've been to Brazil about 17 times. And the Escola de Samba, the carnival music, and the fusion of what Brazil, European roots and African roots were about, Paulinho is the essence of what that's all about.
You seem to have a great deal of fun doing what you do.
It is fun, Oscar. It is fun. I'm doing an album with George Benson, so as an arranger, a film scorer, performer, etc., he's a guitarist, a singer, and etc. We try to put all of our energy together and say, you know a little bit about this, I know a little bit about this, and everything else. Let's put everything we know together and try to make something that we both like and hope. And the dream of every artist is to make the music we like to hear and have everybody else like it.
Yes, the story of black music on phonograph records is a long one, over 60 years now. The quality of the music recorded is improved with the progress of technology and the level of economics. And as a history of black America in the 20th century, black wax is unsurpassed. But the recording industry has barred many creative musicians whose music did not fit the current commercial mold. It is still true that only the most powerful artists have any control over their products. It's up to the audience, the record buyers, to demand what you want to hear. The story of black music has many chapters, and all of them should be heard. So long. See you next time. From Jumpstreet.